Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 5 of Blades in the Dark. My name is Matt. Hello, and I'm joined by Ian, Michael, Emily, and Anthony, and I'm excited for the 5th week, where we are finally done with our first hit, our first score, if you will, and golly, that was an experience, and for some of our characters, it was a traumatic experience. And we are going, we are going to learn a bit about that today, and kind of do the, primarily the like post score stuff, I guess. But Mike knows more about that. But before we hand it over to Mike, I want to ask everyone how's they're doing. How's they're doing? Yeah, Anthony,
Yeah.
How's you doing?
Oh, we're good.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for your contribution, Anthony.
Yeah,
The answer was as good as the question was.
yeah, you're correct.
Whoa.
What have you been up to this week, my man?
Sneezing and playing Overwatch almost exclusively.
Awesome.
Well,
That
and
sounds
work,
great.
I guess, but you know.
Yeah. Allergies are sure nice. Yeah.
Overwatch is better. But
Overwatch is certainly better.
it
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah, definitely. Ian, how about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Today's really hot, so I had to work in that.
Oh,
it's not
gosh.
fun.
Yeah.
So,
It's hot and it's only going to get hotter this week.
yeah,
That's stupid. Who decided that?
I didn't even want to think about it, but now, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing okay. You know, besides that, just hanging out, chilling.
Cool.
Normal things, I don't know.
Cool. Very cool.
I'm trying to think of anything. No, my time has just been pretty lax. I've been catching up on movies, so
Okay.
that's been fun.
Which
so.
movies have you caught up on?
So between this week and last week, I watched the first 2 Alien movies.
Nice.
Well,
Not the third one though,
Well,
or the fourth one,
this is
because
fine.
those are kind of disavowed. And I watched Prometheus 2 as well.
Wait, Prometheus 2?
No, just Prometheus.
Oh, Prometheus as
2.
well. Sure, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I was like,
The sequel,
what?
Matt, haven't you seen it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I mean, I like them. You know, cool sci-fi stuff. I love 80s sci-fi. So
It's so fun to look at the stuff that happened in 80s sci-fi films and be like, that's what they thought the future would be like, and
yeah.
what a spaceship would do. You know, like, oh, this is what a spaceship looks like. There's a room. It's filled with bland white buttons that beep like just inconsistently and with no real patterns. There's no
You
labels on
type
anything.
to a computer, and she
Yes.
takes a while to respond and gives us
oh yeah, the computer.
things she can't even talk about. Like what? What?
Yeah, the computer totally still has MS DOS in 80s
Yeah.
in 80s sci-fi. Like the computer of
the-
2016 totally has MS DOS.
That's what my computer
Watching
has.
those movies,
Gosh dang it.
you are lucky that that's not true.
Hey,
Anyways,
I know my way around a command line or two.
Yeah, whatever, you big nerd. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. On Friday, we saw X-Men Apocalypse.
We did,
and
yeah.
as in me, my siblings, Matt, and Michael Gator,
Okay.
who showed up.
I kind of just showed up, stormed the party,
Yep,
busted.
it was good. I personally had a very good experience with the film. I don't know why it got so many bad reviews, and I didn't look too far into them because I love X-Men movies and I don't want them ruined for me forever, besides the ones that have already been ruined. Last one.
Sorry.
Days of Future Past.
Days of
And The Last Stand.
No, we will not
I know.
get into
Emily and
the whole.
Michael and I have a disagreement about well, Michael and I agree, but Michael and I have a collective disagreement with Emily and her whole family about whether or not
Me and
Days of
my
Future
clan.
Past was
I just-
trash or not.
I'm extremely biased though because I just, for the most part, despise anything that has time travel in it.
Yep.
Except
That
for
happened.
some. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something that has.
Although
time
I
travel.
guess like
Good.
you had to well, Back to the Future, but like I guess you had to like expect it going into a movie called Days of Future Past. Like, you know.
Yes.
But it doesn't
I-
make it good.
I
Like, it
was-
wasn't good.
I was not prepared for how bad it was.
Okay.
So, but yes.
Yeah.
It,
Yes,
it
Anthony?
depends on the spelling. It could
Oh,
be
yeah.
about the present.
Emily-
Days of
Emily-
future past.
Future past is totally the present. Emily, you're showing a great deal of restraint, and I love you, and I appreciate you for what you were doing. You've also had some pretty big achievements lately, and your YouTube has done very well. Why don't you tell us
Yes.
about that?
Yeah, so I got a promotion last week. I am in week 2 of things. It's still going pretty crazy, and I continue to feel more and more brain dead day after day. But yeah, it's been exciting. I've started reviewing the new AMC show Preacher, which has been cool, and I actually connected with one of the I believe the visual effects coordinator from the show has started watching my reviews. So
That's always fun.
no pressure at all. But it's really fun. I definitely
One might
recommend
say,
Preacher.
One might say it's almost like having the creator of a role-playing game tune into your streams of it.
Yeah,
I
don't
know, right?
I don't know what that's like, but it's got to be a strange feeling, for sure.
Yeah,
It's-
must be
It's
strange.
gotta be the best.
Although it would be really funny if, like, Emily, your medium worked in such a way that, like, if you were talking about the show, the visual effects producer could show up and just be like, actually, this is what we meant to do by it. Like,
Yeah.
because John has the ability to, like, in chat be like, actually, guys, the rules is this. And, like, maybe you're doing it
Yes.
wrong, or, like, you're doing it great. Yay. And
Cool.
And see, the
you get
thing
that-
about YouTube is like nobody can intervene.
Oh,
They
see,
have to
I
deal
like
with
the intervention. But
It's
I guess it is
it is a
different if you're
totally
giving a
different thing.
review. Yeah, if you're giving a review versus just playing a game, so.
The thing is,
John,
sometimes
actually.
sometimes you feel like people in the YouTube comments think that they can intervene.
yes.
Hell, when they comment
I can-
something about what you said at the
Mhm.
beginning of the video, before watching the rest of the video, when you obviously address it later in the video,
Yeah.
you know?
Been there, done that. My reviews are usually like between 15 minutes to half an hour long, and so I will get all these people that are like, but what about the thing? And then
What about the thing you addressed at the 20-minute mark, Emily? You didn't talk about that.
I mean, I understand it. I totally do, because it's a long video to stick around for. So some people just want to leave their 10 cents and go. But then it's just kind of funny because it's like, well, I did address that, but it happens, you know. So YouTube has been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing more content there. So
You can follow her
Good stuff.
YouTube at youtube.com/MID Sophia, which is now in the chat. If you haven't already subscribed to her there, you should. She just hit 10K, and why not make it closer to 11K? It's
Or
good content.
100K.
Or
Let's-
or a million K,
Yeah.
or Warhammer 40K.
Total War.
Anthony likes this.
why not?
Anthony's pleased. He wants Emily. He wants your Warhammer review.
Oh,
Anthony
I'll
desires it.
I'll get right on that thing that I know a lot about.
I've
Excellent.
heard
Thank you.
good things about the Warhammer Total War game. Apparently, people are pretty happy with that.
Looks cool. There's Overwatch.
There's also Overwatch.
It's also Warhammer Fantasy, which is just come on.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not like the Dark Heresy stuff, which is sweet.
Which is also cool.
Mike, how you doing, man? How's your week been?
You know what? As Matt knows, I got some stuff going on, but it is better now because
Good.
I am playing Blades in the Dark, and Matt Dennis came over to my house last night, and we had rum and coke,
Yeah.
which tends to, at least for the moment, make you feel like everything's okay a little bit. So I'm better now, but going through some stuff. So I'm excited to play Blades in the Dark, though. Also super excited for Peaky Blinders, which I've been
Yo,
watching.
yeah, you have been watching that, which is sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Where
man.
you at
super
right
good.
now?
I finished like episode 3 or 4 last night, something like that. So I'm in the beginning. I haven't done what I usually do with television shows that I find that I like, which is like
Binge.
watch it all in the span of like a night and then regret everything in the morning when I have to wake up for work.
We're proud of you. We're proud of you for having some self-control. But you need to have it finished by next week, or else you're off the team.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
The-
it's good source material.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
worth waiting or to stick. If you think it's an okay show, which how could you? It's worth sticking around until the second season because
Matt
second
does the
season's
second
great.
stuff
season.
goes down.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
wow.
watched. Let's see. I watched all of Lost within the course of like a week. I regretted everything.
Wait. All of Lost?
Pretty much.
Michael, that's wrong.
That's terrifying.
It was like 1 week or 2 weeks or something like that. It was
I watched 3 seasons of Lost in a weekend, and then like I just stopped.
Did you
I
say in a
don't know what
weekend?
happened.
I didn't
Yes.
stop. I didn't stop. I am sorry that it did not stop. Because as everyone on the internet knows about, if they've seen Lost,
Even if they haven't.
You just know.
see that show and Heroes have been the shows
No.
that have disappointed me the most.
Don't talk
all
about
of-
Hero.
all of
Michael,
television.
did you ever watch the last like 2 seasons of Dexter?
Oh
Yes.
God.
That should be on the
I-
list too.
I mean, it's close.
If you're about to watch Dexter, go and enjoy it, especially the first 4 seasons. It's excellent. And then after that, maybe you just take a break
Forever.
for the rest of the
Yeah,
Yeah,
seasons.
like the first 4 seasons are pretty
Oh, they're
much
excellent.
contained.
Yeah.
There are some good things in a couple of the subsequent seasons, but the last one is a complete
Yeah.
train wreck.
Yeah, the last season specifically is just like hot garbage.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you gotta do. You gotta pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They just made one Matrix movie.
Yeah.
here. They just made 1 season of Battlestar Galactica up here. Didn't happen.
It's all alive.
They only made the Next Generation.
Mirage.
Well, I mean, Deep Space Nine.
I haven't
Next
seen Deep
Generation.
Space Nine.
Quark. Love
The
me
Next
some
Generation
Quark.
is the only Star Trek series that exists, right?
It's the finest one, but it has many idiot stepchildren that are all beautiful in their own way.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Hey, they're making a new one. They're making a new Star Trek series.
Are they?
Wow.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
are.
That's true.
It's-
We're not sure if it's
True.
actually out of development or if it's just something that someone said.
Hard
and-
to
and
say.
we just refuse to believe. Yeah. All right. Well,
I
hey,
like
let's get started with this game, Blades in the Dark, shall we?
I like this game, Blades
Awesome.
in the Dark.
Michael, why don't you tell us where we left off last week?
Well, last week we finished off our first score. Which is
Yay!
you robbed the treasury of the Red Sashes, and you were all able to get as much loot as the 3 of you could carry, which was a little bit. There was, if you had had all 4 of you there at the end, you probably could have gotten everything that was there, but you had to leave some behind. How much loot did all of you manage to get away with?
So I took a coin with me. I grabbed 3 when I left, and I reported 2 of it to our dear friend Bazo Baz.
We'll get to that in a
Okay.
second.
I ran away with 3 of it.
You ran away with 3. Okay.
I think all of us did.
Anthony?
I think that's what we
Yeah,
decided.
I think everyone got 3. is what
We did.
Because that's how much load you guys had left over.
Mhm.
So, the way tonight is going to go, if in your journal tab on Roll20, you can refer to Rules Reference 2, and you can pull that up, and that is going to be our attempted flow of the evening. I predict it's going to take probably at least most of the session, if not all of it, to get through all of this. And like most things in Blades in the Dark, I really love this after score stuff that you get to do in Blades in the Dark. You know, the whole what does the crew do afterwards, you know? I think it's super cool. So first thing we're going to do though before we really get into all that, before you guys head back to Bazo's, you probably want to head back to the Gambit or hideout and kind of recuperate a bit before you head back to the boss. So you guys head back to your hideout, and you walk in, and there's you look around, and you don't see any sign of Silas. And to recap for anyone that either missed the very end of last session or just needs a refresher, at the end of last session, Silas decided that he wanted to try to punch a ghost to death. To death? To
Redeath.
Double death.
Yeah.
double death? He wanted to kill a ghost with his fists covered with ectoplasm. Seems reasonable. It didn't go well for him. He did kill the ghost, but the ghost was able to deal quite a nasty gash to him, and this encounter pushed him over his stress limit, and so he had to mark a trauma. And when you do that, your character is essentially taken out of the action for a while and has to have some time to recover and recuperate, and they come back with no stress and all of their wounds have been healed, but they have a trauma condition. So, Ian, we're not going to really see where Silas is, but just for the sake of the audience, tell us a little bit about the trauma condition that you have now marked for him.
Yeah, so the trauma that Silas now has is unstable. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It means that he goes from really calm to really, really angry in seconds, so look forward to that.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I do look forward to it, to when we get Silas back. So you guys get back to the Gambit, and you probably try to see if there's any sign of Silas, and you don't see him, but you do find a note, like on the...
No.
Like you said, we left a note. That's
I misspoke when
Okay.
I said that.
I will let you explain how you would like for this next piece to go down.
That will go down after the downtime is finished off.
Okay.
So,
Do you want to, because everyone knows you're going to have a new character for this session. Ideally, he would be introduced before we take downtime actions so that
Okay.
he can participate in that.
Yeah.
Unless, because if we do it the other way around, then he's going to be introduced at the end of the session and you're going to do nothing all session.
Yeah. Okay, I can do that.
All right, so let's see. We can before or after payoff, I think, would be the decision to make.
So, payoff being where we go to Bazobaz and meet up with him?
Yeah.
That should
Payoff
definitely be
being-
after that.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Okay. So we will have the introduction to your new character after we complete the payoff section, which shouldn't take too long, depending on whether or not you guys want to play out the entire encounter with Bazo, or if you just want to do a quick highlight reel of how that goes, and we'll give you your payoff, and we'll leave it at that.
I'm interested in hearing how it goes.
Okay.
Especially considering Wakasis' past. Like, I just feel like these interactions could be rich.
Our first impressions.
Especially because the entire crew is really stressed out right now. And
Yeah.
you
Who's Wakasis? Do you mean Bilbo?
know. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. That is what I mean.
Okay. So yeah, we'll cut to that. You guys head over to the coal mine with loot in tow, and as far as I understand it, at least one of you might be trying to do a little naughty, trying to hide the loot from the man.
Yeah. So I put like 1 coin worth of stuff into my satchel. There's like a pouch on the back side that's close to me. Like, it's not actually like you open it up and put it in. It's like on the back side of it, so it's just there. And then I put the other 2 in the main pouch on the satchel.
Anyone else want to try to steal coin from Bazobaz, essentially? Wakasis, I would like to steal all of his coin, says Wakasis.
How much?
How much do you want to try to get away with, Wakasis?
1 coin, please.
What about you, Lyric?
I'm trying to figure out if I want Lyric to try and make off with anything, because I was out of the game for a little while, so I think that part of, if Lyric has any sense of honor, it's like,
Does she, though?
I didn't, and I don't know.
She's a scoundrel.
Yeah.
She is a scoundrel.
Yeah, I'd say for her pain and suffering, she can make off with a coin.
Perhaps it's a situation where, like, Oscar and Wakasis and you are, like, we're all walking out of the place, and, like, on the road down, like, Wakasis and I are talking about it, and, like, yeah, we should just take one. Like, that was not worth it. We should just take one. And then you're like, no. And then we do.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
Now, I'm trying to, for my sake, figure out how I want this to go, because at the beginning of the score, I kind of had Bazo tell you what you're gonna get paid up front, right?
Correct.
And I hadn't fully reviewed the payoff section at that point, or at least I hadn't re-reviewed it to refresh my memory. So here's how payoff is supposed to go. You're supposed to get paid a certain number of coin based on the size of the score that you did. So, in this case, I would probably consider this this score to be a standard score. So, according to the rules reference 2, if you want to reference that, and you can put it up on stream if you want, Matt, so that everyone can see this. A standard score is supposed to give you guys a payout of 6 coin as a crew to divide amongst yourselves.
Oh.
So
Well,
that's
there's 3 of us.
right. So
Well, so here's how this. If I may, I think it should work this way because we only made out with, like, if we were to say we deserve 6 coin, we've only given Bazo 6 coin of what we have. So
Right.
perhaps we get 3 coin from him, and then the 3 coin that we took, and that's a total of 6.
Yeah.
Oh, and we
Because
made
I-
out with his wife.
Yeah. Well, you
I
did.
want-
You made out with his wife.
because I do
Service
want to
suspended.
try to give you guys the appropriate payout for the score, which, unless anyone disagrees, I would consider this a standard score. So I want you guys to ultimately get 6 coin as your payout. So if you want to do that, then we can definitely do that. The difficulty is just, there might just be a little bit of trying to, suspension of a little bit of disbelief here because Basil promised you 10% was his quote.
Sure.
And obviously, the amount that you guys are getting is not 10% of what you guys are bringing back to him. But I still want to follow the rules and give you the 6 coin payout that I think that you guys earn according to the rules.
Sure.
Understand?
Yeah, works for me.
Sure.
All right. So you walk into Bazo's office. The guards, they recognize you, and so they are able to let you through without too much hassling.
Do they
And you
search
get
us or anything?
No,
Okay.
they don't. They let you into his office, and he's standing there. Looks like he's just finishing a discussion with one of his lieutenants. Right? It's a woman dressed in a button-up shirt, leather vest. Looks like she's got a pistol at her side and a rapier also.
Okay.
So he's finishing up a discussion with her, and as you walk in, he ushers her out, and she walks out to a back door to let you guys have your meeting with him.
Like a different door than we came in?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys
Um,
come in like the left door, and there's one like at the back right of the room that she walks out.
I just kind of cane my way up to the desk. Is there a chair in front of his desk? I imagine there's a desk.
Yeah, there's a desk, and there's probably 2 chairs in front of the desk.
I just sit down in one of the chairs. Well,
Okay.
maybe I go up to him and I kind of like look at him and then sit down. Like in a
He's-
not like a lazy like I'm slumping down mode, but like I feel like I should sit down. We're having a
Okay.
meeting.
He's standing, but yeah, that's fair. So you want to walk up? Do you want to shake his hand or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll shake his
Yeah.
hand.
He shakes your hand and he acknowledges the rest of the group. Gives Wacasis a dirty look.
I look at him and Oscar says, "We got your coin. Now let's talk about the payout."
Like, yes, let's talk about the payout. Show me the coin.
I reach into my satchel and I pull out 2, and I kind of like look at the other 2 and hope that they will do the same.
I'm just kind of looking straight forward and like take out my coin, throw it down on his desk or whatever.
So in total, you guys plop down 6 coin together, right?
Mhm.
Is what you're presenting to him. So it's 6 coin it's a decent pile of silver coins. You guys probably had stuffed it into like backpacks and stuff to get it all out. It's a hefty load of coin, obviously, because it took up like the rest of your weight limit essentially.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's a decent pile of coin. So he looks relatively satisfied, and he looks at it. He kind of does a quick. You can see him probably doing some quick math about how much he thinks is there. Maybe opens up one of the pouches, pours it out, observes the coins, making sure it's all legit, and he looks fairly satisfied. And he looks around, and he says, "Weren't there 4 of you?"
There were. One of them, the Egypt, he went AWOL. He attacked me and something else was bothering him.
I hope he didn't go AWOL with any of my coin.
No.
No,
No.
not that I saw.
Barely in one piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
He
see.
jumped out a goddamn window. So if he had any coin, it probably fell out.
He chuckles a little bit. It's like, I hope he broke his leg on the way down, that bastard.
I get offended.
Because remember, Silas tried to attack him last
I
time.
get offended. I say, what did you just call him?
I called him a bastard. You have a
Don't
problem
call him
with
that. Yeah, a bastard would hire someone to go get his coin. A true man would go and get it himself. Don't call my friend a bastard. He's a good man, even if he's a little bit...
You
crazy.
just said he attacked you.
He
Now you
did.
defend him.
A man attacking me doesn't mean I can't defend him. Do you know what I've done for my life?
In my world, if a man attacks me, he dies. All I'm saying.
You say that.
I
This-
put my hand on Oscar's shoulder.
Hold back the old man. I'll get you!
I'm just sort of like stone-faced. I just sort of put my hand on your shoulder like, there.
He looks at you and says, "This everything then."
That's all?
That's what we got.
He kind of looks at each of you, and he lingers on Wakasis for a while, and he leans across the desk at Wakasis, and just while looking you dead in the eyes, he says, "Is this everything?"
Can I have a flashback?
do?
Unrelated to Anthony's question, so we can do it after he answers the question.
Sure, we can do it. Let's do it after.
Okay.
If you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is like looking you straight in the irises.
In the eye, please.
I lean in and I say, yeah, everything.
I'm wondering, because you guys are trying to bluff him, so I'm wondering if there's something that he should be doing to try to resist that, or if it's a matter of you guys resisting his perception. What do you think? Because I feel like there should be some kind of rule here to determine if you're successful at bluffing him or not.
Well, Cases would make a show of it. I'd like, pull my pockets inside out.
All right.
Yeah, is there some way that we can take a group action
I could
Yeah.
like try to sway him, right?
with
Or
Wakasis as the leader of it?
Yeah,
swear.
If Wakasis wants to lead a group action for Sway, I think that's a fantastic way to handle it.
Cases would love to do that.
So, just a reminder for group actions. Let's see. When you lead a group action, you roll for each character who participates in the group action, and the best single roll counts as the action result. And I also believe that the leader will suffer, is it 1 stress for every
Yes.
1 to 3?
Yeah.
How
Okay.
much stress are you at right now?
I have a lot. Let me see.
Okay.
You still
I
have
am
3
also
boxes
very
that you can
stressed.
Oh,
check.
I've got 3 stress to go. Maybe.
Yeah, I have 3 to go
So-
as well.
If all of you bugger up your roll, you'll put Wakasis over the edge.
What's wrong
He'll just be like, "Ah!"
After our first
So,
score, God, we're the
Please
best.
do not fuck this up.
Is there any way I
Okay.
can push myself in this?
Yeah.
Or is there a devil's bargain you'd like to offer?
Let's see. What
mean-
could the Devil's Bargain be?
The Devil's Bargain should clearly have something to do with my past with this guy's wife.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
I have one. I have a really good one. Okay. Like
See if it's
so
the same
so
one I just thought of.
so Anthony gets the bonus on his roll, or I do. I'm just trying not to roll 2d6 and take the lowest one when I do. But in any way, his wife walks in.
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay.
Father's wife walks in.
Anthony, I have to consult with you before I accept or deny. What do you think about this devil's bargain?
What's so? In exchange for you getting a benefit on your roll, his wife walks into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad for everyone.
So when I weigh the risk of possibly taking a trauma from pretending to give this guy all of our money,
just
or possibly dying because his wife walks in the room. I'm pretty sure the trauma's better. It's not much of an offer at all.
Well,
Okay,
a
okay.
reminder, because if he doesn't take the devil's bargain or push himself, he's going to roll 2d6s and take the lowest result, and that's what we're going to count towards whether or not you take stress.
And
Could it
pushing
have
your
to be a group action? Could Wakasis take more time out of his action and just like make a show of trying to convince him, find some other way to convince him?
Like as part of the group action.
No, it's like a
No.
solitary, like no group
So,
action rolled at all. Just
Yeah.
Wakasis attempts to convince him
Oh.
that we've given him all a coin.
So you want to forego the group action and try to do it yourself is what you're suggesting.
Exactly. Even if
So-
it means I have to take a bargain or push myself, but I don't think I probably need to. I
Yeah,
will win
you
a
could-
sway roll.
You want to, if you want to do it yourself, then you're more than welcome to push yourself, or ask for a devil's bargain.
Do you have a devil's bargain in mind? I think you
other,
might.
I mean, other than the one that was just presented, a different one than that.
Well, I think the trade-off has to be different, right? Different
Sure.
than Matt getting a better die roll because he's not part of it at all.
Let's see if, because I think that devil's bargain would still make sense here, but I'm trying to think if there's another one that could also make sense here.
Maybe. Maybe he hires us again or something. I don't know.
How is that a bad thing for you guys? That's not a bad thing.
No, that's the good part. The bad thing is his wife walks in. You think that's the good part?
So you're wanting to accept the devil's bargain of his wife walks in.
And then what? What do I get? Come on.
You get an extra die.
I don't need it. I can roll it better by myself. I have
I
two
mean,
sway.
all right. That's up to you. That's
I would just roll it. I think you could do it.
That's the
Andy.
devil's
Yeah.
bargain
Yeah.
I'm going to present is that his wife walks in. You don't have to accept it.
Yeah,
He's done with her. He left her
She-
anyway.
well,
So
both
that-
of us left here technically.
That's what
Yikes.
devil's bargains give you, is they give you an extra die on your roll. There isn't anything that suggests that they can provide any other benefits beyond that, I think.
Well, I mean, I think we're trying to get more out of it in the first. I'm just gonna roll for it. I think.
Yeah.
And like worst case, he doesn't believe us, so we have to work with that at that point.
Worst
So-
case, he doesn't believe you and you have to resist
His
his
nose.
his scrutiny.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So just sway then.
2d6, yes. You just roll sway. Bam! There you go.
Got it done.
10 out of 10.
We like it. Not a crit,
All
but it's
crits.
still good.
Oh.
Yeah, you put on that show and you put on your poker face and you're just like, yeah, this is everything. And
How physically big is like
Bazo?
like,
Or
everyone that's in the room? Is anyone
Small.
tiny?
I think we
A
established
little
that
advanced?
I'm a little old now.
Bazo is about 6 foot. Is what I sorry. That's what I think I said last time.
Oscar is a little old man.
I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like 5'7",
I mean-
not frail. Old man.
I would go to like pick him up and shake him. Like you can't hear any coins in there. Like,
I mean,
like empty out my pockets.
Oscar,
like,
did you do that?
yes.
He like smacks you in the like. You come up behind him and do that, and he like reaches up behind him and smacks him. He's like, "Oh yeah, gobshite!"
yeah, he
All right.
he buys it. He after you say that, he still stares at you for a couple seconds, then nods and says, "All right," and then he walks back to his desk, turns his back to you, then divides up the pile into 3 other smaller even piles, leaving the majority of it for himself, obviously. And he's gonna give flashback.
Flashback.
Flashback. Let's do a flashback.
So there's this moment where we're walking back from the place, and Willie, he's talking to Oscar, and he goes, "Hey, sorry I had to leave you behind there. I hope you're okay." And Oscar's like, "Ah, shut up, you gobshite. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it." He's like, "But I do wonder about this meeting. It seems as though our friend Wakasis has a problem with the man, and I'm worried." And Willie just says, he just like pats Oscar on the back, and he's like, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go take a look." Willie's gonna go to Bazo Baz's place and just try to see, first of all, if there's any like spirit detection stuff. But he's also going to try to get more of a look of the place than he should. Like he's trying to figure out like what's in that door on the back right. You know, where does that door lead? What's back there? What is in this facility?
Okay. So he heads off to try to scope it out. There's no ghost doors around the perimeter,
Okay.
around like the main doors, but there definitely is to get into Bazo's office.
Okay.
His office specifically is protected.
And is his office the one that's back right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, his office is where you guys are now,
Hmm.
and then there's that door to the back right, which is, you know,
sure.
it kind of, see, if you have the office, that door looks like it would lead to a covered hallway that leads off into another area of the factory that's not exposed to the rest of the factory. It leads somewhere else, and that's definitely protected as well.
Okay. Is there a way that Willie can like step outside of the building and like kind of see where it's headed to, like where that little hallway is headed to?
It still leads to somewhere inside the structure itself. It just leads to a different area that's not the main coal factory floor, you know, because
Sure.
if you picture the structure of this factory, you'd have the majority of it is taken up by the large work floor where all the coal and where all the furnaces are, and then there would be some maybe offices or some other rooms in the back that don't take up a whole lot of the actual space, but they're definitely part of the main structure.
Okay. Okay, so there's no way I can get in there. That is fine.
Is there a way for ghosts to get through ghost doors?
If he had a ghost key with him, then yes, but he doesn't.
Ah.
Oscar does. So.
Okay.
And he's not going to try anything while Bazo's there, like
Yeah.
meeting with them. But is it possible that Willie overheard the conversation that was happening with the lieutenant because he was there just before us?
Is it possible for ghosts to hear through ghost doors?
No. Oh, that's right, because the office has a ghost door at the front. Never
Yes.
mind. Gosh, dang it. Okay.
Just being real. I'm not just trying to block you. I just feel
No,
like
I know.
that it makes sense for
I
the
know.
ghost door to be there.
Yeah,
You know.
totally.
So let's see. I think for flashbacks, we're
I take 0, 1, or 2 stress.
0, 1, or 2. That's a 1 stress flashback.
Okay. I'm at 2 until dead.
Okay. I mean, 2 until
You're up there with the rest of us.
2 until joins Silas in wherever he is.
good thing that you guys are almost
Yeah,
ready
headed
to indulge
downtime.
your vices. You still got some stuff to get through though, so we'll get there.
Okay.
But yeah, so we have that flashback, and maybe when we cut back from that flashback, we cut on to Oscar's face, and you know he kind of looks like maybe he spaced out for a second there, and he was thinking back to all that happened.
Yeah, and Oscar just kind of like takes a look at the door, and he's just staring at the door, like trying to figure out like why does he have a ghost door?
So he divides up the loot. He puts 3 small piles and then the larger pile for himself. And let's see, if we wanted 6 coin in total, you guys already had 3. So it's going to be 3 coins. So 3 piles of 1 coin each for you guys to take.
Okay. Presumably we can just carry that with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a pouch of silver or 2 pouches of silver or something like that.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
I take it and I
So-
stand up and I shake his hand and I say, "Thank you for your time. If you need another job, you know where to find us."
It's like, do I? I mean, he doesn't know where your hideout is. It's hidden.
Well,
Just
you can find me. You know, found me in the first place, so.
it's true.
It's like, I'll keep you in mind and if I need you, I'll probably find you. So that's what he says. All right, that probably does it for the payoff, unless there's anything else that any of you want to do while you're there with Bazo.
Well, I'd like to take another flashback and have Willie ram the ghost door with his head and hope it opens it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Willie
die.
dissipates into a ghost smoke and is no more.
First character death.
Oh.
He was already dead.
All right, so in addition to that, it says a score yields 1 rep per tier of the target, and the coin reward based on the nature of the operation. If you cease to claim, you gain its benefits. This was not a hold or a claim seizing score, but you are going to get 1 rep per tier of the target. They are tier 3, so you guys are going to get 3 rep because the red sashes are tier 3.
Where do we put that? Is
That
in
should be
crew
on
advancement?
the crew sheet. That should be crew sheet, and let's see, rep. There's a little rep box.
I see. Yeah.
on the
Okay.
right side.
By the turf.
Yeah.
Yeah, by turf and bolts and all that stuff. Cool.
So it's 3 because of why again exactly?
Their tier. It's 1
Oh.
rep per tier of the target.
Understood. Because we took on the big guys.
Yeah.
It was the red sashes that you guys were taking on, so you get that. All right. It's time to dish out some heat.
Okay. You've already done that. Thanks, Weather. What? This is like the moment on what's that movie with I almost called him Xander Cage with Vin Diesel, Riddick, where he's like on the sun planet. He's like, put on the glasses. We gotta go.
That's the secret to surviving on a planet that has like several 100-degree temperatures.
Sunglasses.
Just pouring some water on yourself and putting
Yeah.
on your sunglasses, and you're good to go.
Yep.
All right.
So
So
heat.
let's talk. The first thing I want to talk about is the level of exposure that you guys feel the score was, because there was a lot of fighting, there was a lot of combat. I'm leaning on putting this on a high exposure level, unless any of you feel different.
So I feel like it was. I mean, I don't know what the like scales are, but if high exposure is like the highest one, I don't think it was that, because it's not like we
It's
went.
Mhm.
Okay.
We weren't on the streets, you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it's not like we went there and like threw Molotov cocktails at the front
Right.
door and we're like, "Hey, fuck the red sashes," you know, like.
The scale goes like this: smooth and quiet is low exposure, contained is standard exposure, loud and chaotic is high exposure, and wild is devastating exposure. It's definitely not wild. You guys, like
Yeah.
you said, you didn't do Molotov cocktails and all that stuff, but there was a lot of fighting.
There
and
was some
so-
chaos of
I would
sorts.
argue, I would argue that it's not loud, mainly because the whole fighting and killing thing is a separate heat kind of issue, and I think
Okay.
that within the whole fighting, the operation wasn't that loud because we dealt with them, rapidly took them out before they
Okay.
could alert others.
Yeah,
That's just my 2 cents.
And I do think that like it was relatively contained, right? Like, and that's kind of a difficult level to establish, because there's quiet, which is like, okay, we obviously didn't kill anyone. We got in, we got this stuff, we got out, and then there's we killed somebody, and so we're calling that level 3. Which I don't. Yeah, I'm with Ian. Like, we did kill people,
Sure.
but
Mm-hmm.
it was like there was never a moment where it was like, well, except for like when Silas was like, I'm batshit crazy, like.
Right.
Well,
But
we
that-
literally like murdered people who were trying to run away from us, which is pretty
I think that's fair,
wild.
because I would consider, like, if you guys were pretty much undetected for the most part, I would consider that the low exposure range.
Mhm.
And so I do think that this is more than that, obviously. So I would be fine with calling it standard exposure. And in this kind of thing, since this is the first time for us doing this, this is kind of our opportunity to set precedent for what we think qualifies for the different levels of exposure. I'm
Yeah.
fine with standard exposure if you guys are. No?
I am also fine with it.
I think it works.
I fully exposed myself, but that's a different matter.
All right. So there should be also a section on the crew sheet to start keeping track of heat.
And how many is that, 2?
We're going to start with 2.
Dose
There's
so far.
still a little bit more for us to do.
Right.
So after we establish that base level, then it says plus any additional heat from complications or devil's bargains, which I remember there is at least one where I said the consequence would be 1 additional heat.
Ha.
I will put that up to 3.
Be hot.
Cool. So after that, say after a score, add 1 heat for a high profile or well-connected target. I think the red sashes qualify for that.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Plus 1 for that. Plus 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. Red Sash Treasury probably qualifies for that, I would think.
Okay, so I'm at 5 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus 1 heat if you're at war. You are not. And plus 2 heat if killing was involved.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's see, was there killing
Well
involved?
then.
Well, yeah. There was also re-killing, so
little.
maybe we have to add 2
Debatable.
more.
I think it's just 2
Yeah, I know.
if there was any killing involved.
I know.
All right. So we're at 7.
Cool.
Yeah.
Getting hot in here.
A little bit. All right. It's getting close to 7:30. Matt, do you want us to take our first break now before we jump into entanglements?
If this seems like a good breaking point, then we can definitely do that. This is my first time doing this as well, so you let me know if
Oh,
this
hold on a
seems like...
second. Hold on a second.
Okay.
John just pointed something out. It says it's hostile turf if they have negative status with the red sashes.
Ah, we don't.
You guys are neutral at the moment.
So we have 6 heat.
Sweet.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Nice.
thank you, John, very much. I hadn't considered
Which
that.
they're about to after this. Well,
Yes.
John,
Probably.
no, everything's
Probably.
fine. They're fine with being robbed.
So-
The trainees were bad anyway.
We're gonna die.
Yeah. You know in
How
college
nice.
how like Chem 101 is
Yeah.
like the hardest class in like the Chem program, except for the final program classes because they weed you out. They're like, get the idiots out of here.
Yeah.
We're Chem 101.
Yeah.
I think that this is a good place to take our first break.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do that. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We're having a really good time with this. It's so fun how everything in this system adds up. It's not like we just do XP at the end of the session and, like, and it feels like, okay, you know, well, did you kill the goblin? Yes, you get an XP for that. There really is an interactive storytelling element to each piece of this, and for me, someone who prefers the role-playing with an E versus the role-playing with a second L, this is a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm sure everyone else is enjoying it as well. It seems like we all are. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break. We'll be back at about 7:30 p.m., and then we'll be continuing on until 9 o'clock p.m. If you missed the beginning of this episode, or you have missed previous episodes, you can go and check on the VODs online at youtube.com/friendlyfiretvgaming. I'll put that in the chat right now. And the VODs for this week will be up, I would estimate, because it's always a mystery with me and my schedule, I would estimate they will be up on Friday. And I will tweet out when they're up. You can follow us on Twitter. Just put that in the chat as well, and you'll see an update when those go live, so you can come in and catch the beginning bits of this episode. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to W Young 1971 for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thanks.